Swang guys, this is SwaggerTurbo and welcome back to my team career mode. Scooter Sapari is doing pretty okay as of now. We're getting, I think we have 16 points in total. All of it is because thanks to me, but yeah, we do have a lot of, upgrades coming up for, I think, after France. We have tertiary wings for now, so this is going to be interesting. So yeah, overall, the spirits are pretty high, and I expect to get a lot of points in Austria because Austria is one of the tracks where I'm pretty consistent, I'd say, and it's mostly just, I really love the whole flow of the track, and we'll have to see how it goes. Obviously, this is going to be a sprint weekend, so it's going to be extremely interesting to see what kind of how many positions we can gain or how many positions we lose. Of course, it's on simulation damage, so anything can happen in turn one of Austria, of course. But yeah, just quickly finishing the whole autocross part of the game and just getting some goals and getting some coins pretty much because right now we are pretty low on cash and we need to try and get that higher up so that yeah, we can basically just develop the whole car, get maybe better drivers. And when I say that, one in particular, we don't really need that much money to get him, but yeah, we gotta try and get Jehan Darwala as soon as possible and make this a completely Indian team. But yeah, as for now, I am obviously going to get my first engine out. So basically, what I normally do, is during practice, I change my engine to a previous engine, which is already used. So basically, it's just a practice engine. And during qualifying and the race, I use another engine. So it basically does is that my engine doesn't really wear out that fast. So in a way, it's actually pretty decent. So yeah, just going through the whole practice programs real quick, just showing you guys what's up. And the reason I'm showing this to you is because towards the end, actually not even towards the end, a little bit later, you guys will see something that I kind of messed up. So yeah, basically I'll show you where the whole mess up happened and how it happened. It's just unfortunate, but yeah, let's just focus on the quality for now, and I'll talk to you guys about what I did and where my whole race unraveled. We had a pretty decent quality till here, but then I make a small mistake out of turn 2 and I've lost so many positions. Obviously, Saints is far up in front and we're already down to 22, but I still feel like we can get it back. Our lines through the sector 2 are pretty okay, so let's try and head down and get some positions back in the quality. Even if I get somewhere around 15th to 10th, I'll be very happy with that quality. Right now we are in that bracket, so which is perfect. The other thing that I wanted to actually see and look into actually is the Austria track itself. I actually am pretty decent at the track, so I know for a fact that I'll be slightly faster on 80 AI. And as you can see, we are 10th, which is not a very good lap, and we still got 10th. So this is what I was contemplating, like should I increase the AI difficulty from 80 to maybe 85 or maybe 82, just increase slightly and see how it goes. But the only problem is it varies from track to track. So right now, as you can see, we literally qualified 10th, which is amazing, especially in Scooter Safari, because this car is nowhere even close to being in the top 10 right now. The biggest issue that I faced was while changing my engine. So after the quali finished, going into the practice section, I changed the engine back to my practice engine, completely forgetting the fact that my quali engine, like you basically can't make any changes to your engine after you're done after you've finished your quali. So I knew that this whole race is gone, completely gone. I have to either start from the back or risk my risk maybe some points because obviously we came 10th. So yeah, it's like I knew that we can get points. So what I did was during the sprint race we'll have 10th, but once it's finished, we'll probably go back all the way back to 22nd.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting sprint. An immense lap from Carlos Sainz yesterday puts him in pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Perez, Hamilton, George Russell and Verstappen, Norris, Ricardo, Fernando Alonso, and Kumar. Bottas, Ocon, Pierre Gasly, and Magnussen. Joe, Tsunoda, Mick Schumacher, and Sebastian Vettel. Stroll, Albon, Liam Lawson, and Nicholas Latifi. Which of these drivers will get pole position today? We'll soon find out.
But yeah, it's a pretty straightforward strategy, of course. We are going to start on the mediums, load up the setup, which is going to be a proper Austrian setup, and from 10th, try and get some points. Obviously, that's going to be the main plan at least. Let's see if it goes, everything goes according to plan. Top 8 is what we need to get to, get some points in Austria. And honestly, starting from 10th, I have a feeling that it's the best chance we have to get some points. So let's try and get a purple grid slot over here. 0.3 meters, that's perfect. And yeah, let's try and jump Alonso down the inside of turn 1. It's going to be a very risky move down the inside, but this is the sprint race and we have to try every single thing that we can. It's 5 red lights for the Australian sprint race and it's lights out and away we go. We have a very decent start compared to Alonso. Even the second half, actually this time around, is pretty decent. We normally have a very bad second, but we go down the inside of Ricardo, going over the curbs, no contact whatsoever, thankfully, and we are already up to 8th. This grants us 1 point in the whole race, which is amazing because I didn't really expect to be over here, of course. A quick, just, pressing the escape over there by mistake, and we almost hit the back of Norris. Norris and Verstappen going extremely slow. We go side by side with Verstappen now, going around the outside. But even with the ERS dump, I knew for a fact that Verstappen is in a much quicker machinery. And there's no point of me to try and, fight that. So we're just going to keep it slightly calm right now. And yeah, just right behind Verstappen, try and get DRS and just stick with these guys in front. Because obviously these guys are the front pack. And the only way I'm going to stay in front of Alonso right now is if I stick with Verstappen. And while saying that, I go extremely wide, but thankfully did not touch the gravel. And Norris and Verstappen going side by side through this turn, and this is going to be extremely difficult, and it could give us a chance of actually overtaking one of these guys, but we have to slow down because Verstappen had a very weird exit out of the last turn. This allows Alonso to get a very good run on us and might even overtake us down the inside, but we make a slight mistake over there. We make a slight mistake, go wide, and Verstappen is through. We have floor damage, and apparently we have 2 illegal overtakes. I have no idea how this worked out, but we just lost 2 positions instantly. We're obviously going to fight this out with Ricardo over here. Alonso trying to get back on the driving line, though it's extremely dangerous and close, but somehow we stay in front of Ricardo. Yes, I did go wide, but I didn't expect to get a legal overtake on 2 of them. I could have actually made it if I, braked a little earlier, but yeah, I just broke way too late, and the whole thing is just gone. We had such a good lead on Alonso as well. We were just sticking with Verstappen, but one small mistake, and not even our mistake, it was Verstappen's mistake. We had to brake, obviously, otherwise we would have lost our front wing. But anyhow, we are right behind Alonso now, and let's just quickly fast forward through the next few laps, because as I said, it's like the first few laps are like intense, and we're just having side by side battles and everything, and the next half is, most of the time is just us settling down into the whole rhythm of the car and just trying to stay with Alonso and with mostly the faster cars around us pretty much, because yeah, it's just hard to try and overtake these guys, especially with the kind of machinery we have right now. But 8th is still pretty decent. We still are getting one single point, and every point counts in this championship, because we, as the whole Alpha Tauri as well as Scuderia Supari are extremely close in the constructors points. So we are gonna try and get in some decent lap times in and maybe get a few points here and there. But as you can see, Norris has been overtaken by Max Verstappen in front. I was just quickly checking for the whole race update, as well as when we have to pit and everything. This was obviously a 12 lap race, and honestly speaking, we just have to chill because it's going to rain for sure. We can see it in the clouds as well. But while I'm talking about that, Hamilton and Norris is going extremely slow. Alonso also slows down because of it, and Norris and Hamilton are still side by side. This is only allowing us to catch up to them but it's allowing Ricciardo to catch us up as well. These guys are going 3 wide into turn 1. We slow down a little bit, but we lose our front wing because Alonso also had a very bad first turn. Our whole front wing is gone, and this is just allowing Ricciardo to catch us up. We're gonna stick it down the inside over here of maybe even Hamilton, and Alonso breaks very late, but locks up. We go into neutral, and suddenly the whole race has come alive. We were just chilling in 8th, and out of nowhere, within like 3 laps, we are battling Alonso again for positions and points, of course, and the front wing damage is not going to help us. Norris, Hamilton, as well as Alonso went 3 wide into turn 1. Did not expect that to happen at all, but then Alonso's exit was pretty weird out of there, and he had a very shaky exit as well, and yeah, we couldn't really capitalize, and because of simulation damage, we have lost our front wing. This is going to be extremely hard now for us to keep Hamilton behind us, and yeah, we'll just have to see what is going to happen next. And talking about that, Sainz has already retired. Sainz retired in the real life Austrian GP as well as in our career mode. This is crazy, but we get 6th because of that. And it started to rain. The last 2 laps now, and it's already raining. We have a front wing which is yellow. It's already damaged, and we somehow kept it in front of Ricciardo. Alonso is long gone. He's 3.5 seconds in front of us, and so is Norris. But his teammate Ricciardo has kept us on our toes. He's literally been there, like, within the DRS range. But I think DRS is already offline now because of the rain coming down on the track as well. We are struggling quite a lot with these tires because obviously they are worn out medium tires. But thankfully, it's only one more lap. I was actually thinking about pitting, but then I realized it's not extremely wet. We are getting a lot of damage by just touching the sausage curbs. The underbody is completely just yellow right now. The front wing is not there. And there is a lot of rain on the track right now. Ricciardo is getting extremely close to us. We have 16% ERS. I'm going to use it right here so that we can stay in front of Ricciardo. We gotta try and do everything that we have in our arsenal to try and just keep Ricciardo behind. We go wide though while talking about it, but Ricciardo makes a small move as well. He has a tank slapper and is behind us right now. He's extremely close going into this left-hander. Somehow we are keeping it in front of him still. We have floor damage, we have wing damage, we have a wet track on 46% used mediums, and we are still in front of Ricciardo. This has been a crazy sprint race, but 6th will be the best we have finished so far. I am going to defend like a lion, as Alonso says, and there we go. Ricciardo had to back off from that move, and we have 6th. This is the best position that we've had all season, and as I said, in Austria I am expecting quite a lot of points. And this is, I think, going to give us 3 points because it's only a sprint. But the only sad part is we won't be starting 6th. We will be starting from the back of the grid because of our own stupidity that we did. But let's just quickly check out the whole standing as well. Perez has taken the lead. Leclerc is just 1 point behind Perez. Verstappen is 3 points behind. And Red Bull has taken the championship. Red Bull, out of nowhere, obviously it was very close. It was only 3 points, I think, between them. And because of Sainz DNFing in the race, it's just gone. The lead that Ferrari had has disappeared just like in real life. So there's a lot of coincidences that's going on. But let's just see the starting grid for the race.
Sergio Perez will lead us away from pole position. And starting next to them is George Russell. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Norris, Fernando Alonso and Ricciardo, Bottas, Mick Schumacher, Magnussen and Guan Yu Zhou, Stroll, Leclerc, Liam Lawson and Vettel, Tsunoda, Hamilton, Esteban Ocon and Pierre Gasly, Latifi, Albon, Kumar. They've taken a grid penalty and Carlos Sainz will start from the back of the grid. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway.
Alright, so we are on the grid right now. It's going to be a one-stopper. We are going to lower the fuel a little bit, probably getting around point 0.4, because we are starting from the back as well. And we have Sainz right next to us, which was actually a shock. Obviously, Sainz had an engine blowout after the quali, so he also gets a new engine, but he gets a grid penalty, to go with it. So he's starting on softs. He's going for a very aggressive strategy, and I just feel like I can gain a few positions on the mediums itself because people like Albon and Latifi, they are on hards, and this actually gives us a decent chance of getting maybe getting into points over here. We get another zero point 0.5 meters purple light up on the grid. We are ready for the Australian Grand Prix. It's 5 red lights, lights out, and away we go. And we have a pretty okay start. This is a worse start than we had in the sprint, but Sainz is absolutely flying. We are right next to Sainz right now and going side by side through the first turn. Thankfully, no damage as of now. And yeah, we have Sainz going down the inside now. We're gonna keep it down the inside of the next turn and try and maybe get Latifi over here, and everyone's going extremely slow. It's 3 wide in front, Vettel, Tsunoda and Ocon going 3 wide. Hamilton is joining the party now, and Gasly getting an amazing exit, and we already have gained, I think, 3 positions till now, and we are in 19th, which is actually pretty decent. Sainz actually got caught up in the hole, actually caught up behind Williams, and we are up to 19th on the set of mediums. Sainz has to start getting a lot of points in now, because if he stays behind these Williams on the soft tires, the soft tires are going to instantly just, evaporate pretty much. They are going to degrade quite a lot, so we're going to try and keep it next to Gasly. If Carlos does come, close to us, I am going to let him through, but someone's already pitting, and it's 3 wide going into the last turn. Ocon, Hamilton, and everyone's going slow. We have a slight contact with Ocon, and let's quickly get a replay of this as well as soon as we give the illegal overtake back to Vettel. No idea how it was illegal, but let's just see what happened over here. So we're going slow over here. Someone went into the pits. They're going 3 wide. We have slight contact with Ocon over there, and we have retirement. Leclerc is out of the race. This is just, even worse for Ferrari now, because Red Bull is going to get even more points. Sainz is not even close to getting points as of now, at least. It's a long race, of course. He might be able to get points later on, but he's not in, you know, not even close to getting points, and we are going down the inside. No idea how this move stuck because Gasly was side by side. We had a better exit. We have slight wing damage because of the tap on Ocon, and we have overtaken the Vettel. While I was talking about Leclerc and the whole WCC, we just are up to P15 now. As I said earlier, we have very decent pace in Austria, and yeah, it's just showing over here we are up to P15 in literally 2 laps, and I have a feeling now that we can get into the points as well. The guys in front are not too far in front, so we just have to stick with Ocon, try and get DRS every single lap, and whenever the time is right, we will overtake him, of course. But while I'm talking about overtaking, Carlos is slowly catching us up, which is kind of, it's like a 50-50 for me. I can let him through and just use him for DRS, but the fact that he's in a Ferrari and he also will get DRS from the guys in front, he could just fly and never see us ever again. So we make a slight mistake going into turn 2 over here behind Ocon. Ocon brakes slightly too early, and Carlos Sainz is going side by side with us, and I'm just going to let him through. As I said earlier, I don't really want to fight Sainz right now. We can take the fight to him later on, especially just use him as a DRS train maybe, and just stick with him, use DRS off of him, and maybe get closer to the back and front. Lap 3 is about, we are midway through lap 3 right now, and honestly speaking, last, or actually 21st to 16th ain't too bad. We are using quite a bit of ERS over here just to stay with Sainz over here, and we have a train forming in front of us, and the person who's in lead of the pack over here is Hamilton. Hamilton 100% has some damage of sorts because he's going extremely slow right now. And Mercy is actually supposed to be very good, but Lawson having a movement over here, I think he got pushed wide by Hamilton or Ocon, one of the two, and he had a very, very horrific first turn exit. We capitalize on that, obviously, and we are up in P15. Ocon and Sainz going side by side in front, and Vettel and Lawson, our teammate, going side by side behind us. There's so much going on in this race that's hard to actually keep up with the commentary right now. But the whole thing of just sticking with Sainz, right now all you have to do is just stick with Ocon and try and overtake him and not fight Vettel. So we have to make sure our pace is good so that Vettel doesn't catch us up and we are able to, stick with at least Ocon, if not Carlos, because Carlos is already 1 second in front. This is what I was talking about earlier as well, that if I let Sainz through and he just starts putting in those quick laps on those soft tires, it's going to be hard for me to really stick with him. Lap 6, turn 1, Hamilton and Sainz are going side by side now, and this gives us an amazing chance, an amazing run on Ocon. So we're going to dump all the ERS, try and overtake Ocon over here, because even if we do overtake Ocon over here, we will get DRS from the guys in front, but Ocon pushes us wide. We have to go through those sausage curbs over there as well, which is going to be a problem later on. But we just completely get, I won't even say shout, but he just parked the car in a very weird place, and we had to go off track just to keep, the car intact and not take any damage. And this is just, a huge issue for us, because Hamilton is already 1 second in front, and we might just lose the DRS from, the guys in front. So we are going to dump a bit more of ERS down this straight over here, this short straight going into the penultimate turns, and Hamilton does have damage. He's taking the pit entry over here, so we are going to, I don't think we are going to get DRS over here, because DRS direction is slightly behind where Hamilton was, and Hamilton would get DRS, but we won't, which is unfortunate, because Carlos is already 1.3 seconds in front, and there's no way we are catching up to him, and Ocon is right behind us, and he does have DRS. So a lot of things happen just of late, and Ocon with some amazing pace coming out of nowhere. We're going to break a little bit early and a bit more so that we get DRS, but unfortunately it's still with Ocon. Ocon does get DRS, so our bargain over here, or our strategy, or whatever you want to call it, has honestly failed. And the problem with this is our engine had an issue where we went on lean, and somehow it just got alright. So as you can see on the right, it went on lean for the whole straight, and that's why Ocon was able to catch us up so much. And we are back to standard though. Within I think a sector, it got alright. So good job on that, Scuderia Supari management. But yeah, thankfully it's back now. But we've already lost so much time to Tsunoda as well. We are around 1.3, 1.5 seconds behind Tsunoda, and now we are 2 seconds behind him. We still have DRS on Ocon, thankfully, but we still have to overtake him, or should I say re-overtake him, and then, even try and get close to Tsunoda. Obviously, we had an amazing fight with Tsunoda as well as Ocon in the British Grand Prix. If you guys haven't seen that yet, I'd say, go check it out, because it was actually pretty fun. And yeah, it was just a really good racing over there as well. And it's just replicating over here as well. Vettel is extremely close. I think we'll have to start using our ERS a bit more. I'm just going on an ERS save as of now, and I'll use the ERS later on. And in front, we can see that I think that's Zhou, and that's Guanyu Zhou and Carlos Sainz just going side by side. And yeah, this time around, there was no contact between them, which is kind of nice. But we can see that Sainz is making a lot of progress on those softs. But the only thing about softs is they will deteriorate eventually, and he'll have to come into the pits. And while I'm talking about that, I think he is going into the pits. So this is actually a pretty decent thing that's happened, because Carlos and Guanyu, when both of them were fighting, it just slowed all three of them down, helped Ocon to catch them up, and we have caught them up as well. And oh boy, that was close. Ocon getting a very, very bad exit out of turn 1, and we have an amazing exit. We obviously, I braked slightly earlier and got the switchback on him, but Tsunoda is going for a dive down the inside of Zhou, and we have to avoid contact, with Zhou, go slightly wide, and at least we get Ocon over here. This race has just been crazy from lap 1 to lap 9. There's been so much action and so many overtakes all around the block. Obviously, Carlos getting a lot of overtakes as well on the softs, but he has pit, I think, for hards. I'm pretty sure he at least should be on hards because otherwise he's not making it till the end or maybe even getting points for that matter. But Tsunoda and Zhou are very, very close to each other right in front of us. So we have a very good chance of actually overtaking these guys. I can use overtake and make it 3 wide actually. Thank God I did not do that. Tsunoda going down the inside of Zhou. And this is just getting spicier and spicier. I brake a little early so that I can get another, switchback line. But Tsunoda and Zhou actually keep it very clean and they have had a slight gap which has been made to me. But again, the same thing going side by side, it's almost a mirror move of what we did the first time, avoiding all the carnage, getting a better line out of turn 2, actually out of turn 1, and we are going side by side with Zhou and this is 3 wide. We are going 3 wide and we have contact. We have contact with Guan Yu. Guan Yu I think just turned in on us. I'm not pretty sure about that. We are 3 wide briefly and let's just have a quick update over here. And yes, we were 3 wide and yeah, it looks like Guan Yu Zhou just turned in on us out of nowhere, which was kind of weird, but yeah, it is what it is. We do have a bit of underflow damage and I don't know how much it will affect us in the whole race, but we do have a damage now thanks to Zhou. In front though, Schumacher is long gone. It's like there's a 10-second gap between me and Schumacher, and yeah, there's no way I catch up to that because the kind of speed that the top 10 have right now, like especially the top 8 till Schumacher, it's extremely quick, and there's a lot of DNFs. It's like including Leclerc as well, and we have even Hamilton and other people who are quick. But okay, let's talk about this right now on screen. We have a safety car. No idea what happened. I tried to go through the replay files as well and find the whole cause of the safety car, but I really couldn't find it. And we can actually pit for hards over here, and with a bit of tire conservation I feel like we can make it till the end. But what I was trying to say before we saw the safety car is that a lot of the quick or the fast runners like Hamilton and Leclerc, even Sainz for that matter, they're just on a weird strategy, or they are just caught up in some or the other incident pretty much, and they've lost their wing. They had to make an extra pit, and yeah, that's just mainly given us this P9 for free at this point. Stroll and Schumacher in front also have pit. Of course, the whole grid is going to pit right now, and it will be kind of dumb not to pit, of course, because this is a perfect chance under safety car. You won't lose that much time. You won't lose any positions. You might gain a few because of wing damage and stuff. But yeah, let's just try and get a good entry. And yeah, we do get a good entry. So this is going to be a quick pit stop. And right behind us, Lawson is also into the pit. But unfortunate for him, I don't think it's going to work out well for him, especially because, yeah, it's like double stacks are never going to work properly. But that was extremely weird. Sonora just goes through us, but thankfully we don't have any damage. And yeah, we have a DRS as obviously, it's gone offline for now. All of it, all the mechanical issues that we can have is happening. But yeah, lap 15 now, the safety car is coming in this lap. We have to just stick with Sainz in front. He's on mediums. I don't think it's going to go till the end because it's actually very hard to keep the hards till the end. So this is going to be extremely hard for Sainz, and I think he might be pitting very, very soon. We have a decent start though, and it's pretty calm, which I'm pretty happy about because there's so much going on in the whole race that, yeah, getting a breather sometimes is actually good. But we go down the inside out of nowhere on Carlos, and we actually make it stick. No idea how that's happened. We obviously have 100% ERS, going to dump all of it just to try and stay in front of Carlos because he is on mediums and we are trying to fight for points now. Earlier, it was just we trying to, follow him through the other cars, but we have seen how that went. He just, flew through, flew past the other cars and we were, just stuck behind Ocon, and yeah, it was pretty bad. So now we are going to take the whole fight to Carlos and try and overtake Schumacher because Schumacher and I were having actually pretty decent lap times, the same kind of lap times actually, before the safety car came in. The whole gap was at 10. We make slight mistake over here. Those signs over here extremely quick in that Ferrari of his, and he has re-overtaken us. I'm going to brake a little early to not get into any issues. Carlos Sainz though, he goes defensive, goes over the curb and messes up his exit. Turn 1 has just been an amazing point for us to actually overtake, and because I was slow over there as well, it's like, whoa, what's going on here? We have Ricardo going wide, we have Schumacher going slow, we have Stroll in front. While talking about how good of an exit I was getting, we're getting an amazing exit out of turn 2 on Stroll. Stroll giving us enough space though, and we are giving him enough space as well to try and go around the outside of, I think that is turn 3, and what a move that is. We get extremely close to Stroll over here. He almost lost his front wing, but thankfully there was no contact, and we got Valtteri in front. We are P6 again. This way we are supposed to start the sprint from, but yeah, we're just going to put the penalties aside. We should have started here, and we are still 6th. As I said, Austria, I think 80% AI for me is way too kind of low, because this car is performing so well as of now. But I won't just completely give the car the credit, because, or the track. I've been driving pretty decently over here, trying to just stay away from all the carnage which is going on. That has caught out the likes of Ricardo, Hamilton, even Carlos for that matter. And yeah, we are in P6, which is amazing. And it just shows that our car is not too fast, because Verstappen is 4 seconds in front already. So the guys in front are extremely quick. It's just that we have been having a pretty decent race till now. And yeah, not too shabby. Honestly, not too shabby. The whole race has been pretty okay. We are closing up on Bottas though. This is lap 23. We might go for a dive down the inside, but we don't. We just slow down and let Bottas through, and Max is out of the session. What happened to him? He was having a battle with Russell over here. Russell getting extremely close to him. But yeah, Verstappen is out of this session. With both the lead drivers, I'd say, for Red Bull and Ferrari out, this is going to be extremely close in the constructors. Perez though is, I think, in front still, whereas I think Sainz is not even in the top 10 now. He had to pit again for a set of new tires, and he's all the way back. He's, I think, last right now, so not looking too great for Ferrari yet again. But yeah, fast forwarding a few more laps now. We are down to lap 26, only 10 more laps left. We are going to dump all the ERS that we have saved till now and try and get Bottas over here down the inside, which actually is the outside of turn 2. Bottas is giving us a very good fight over here. Does go in deep though. We will get a better exit out of turn 2. DRS as well, and we have overtaken Bottas. And throughout this race, all I can say is that we have had amazing and spectacular races and spectacular overtakes throughout this race. We have been battling the likes of Ocon, we have been battling Bottas over here, and even Sainz for a little bit at least. So yeah, we've had our battles here and there everywhere pretty much. And 10 more laps to go. We have enough ERS. I'm going to use a little bit to try and set my personal best lap. And yeah, obviously it's not going to be the fastest lap of this whole session, because the guys in front are extremely quick. Norris is second out of nowhere, and out of nowhere does come Valtteri as well. Lap 28 now, he goes down the inside of turn 3, this is, I think, and he makes the move stick. He gives us enough space, and we give him enough space, and he does overtake us. There's nothing that I can really do about that. It was just pure pace from Bottas in that Ferrari powered Alfa Romeo. We are also powered by Ferrari as well, of course, but yeah, what a move. Coming to lap 33 now, and we see Norris is pitting. No idea why Norris is pitting so late. He's going for softs, of course. He will get the fastest lap as well. We are still behind Bottas, and we're just trying to get DRS off of him. We have enough ERS to, just spam and get in front of Bottas over here. But yeah, the main thing is we are potentially fighting for a podium now. Valtteri and I are fighting for a podium. Who would have thought I would be saying this? But it is happening. This is for P3. Norris is only 5 seconds behind us, and we have to see what kind of pace he has. because of course he's in a McLaren and that McLaren is extremely quick here. So we'll have to see what kind of pace he comes up with. And right now the only hope for us is to try and overtake Bottas in the next lap because Norris is already caught up by I think 5 tenths just in this lap and it's about to become 1 second. So we have to try and overtake Bottas, just keep him in between me and Norris to try and get this podium. Of course, I've been saving all the CRS. We have 40% right now. I have been using it, partially here and there, but yeah, most of it was just me saving it behind, but staying behind Bottas in the DRS and saving up ERS for the last few laps. And this is just getting more and more intense. We go over this curve though. We have orange side pod slash underbody damage, but we are going to stick with Bottas over here, getting extreme overspeed on Bottas over here, and we're going to send one down the inside. It's a very, very late lunge, and Bottas does not turn into us like his teammate Guan Yu Zhou did. We even get DRS to try and get away from Bottas, but obviously we're not going to use or dump the ERS over here. We're going to save it up a little bit before the last and final lap. It's getting extremely close because Norris is down to 1.5 seconds behind us. He's on the fresh, soft tires as well. He's extremely quick in that McLaren and he is setting some blistering lap times, and we just have to try and keep it in front of those two to get our first ever podium as a driver as well as Scuderia Supari. We haven't done this. I just want Bottas and Norris to fight. We're going to go extremely defensive, instantly just go to the right, and Norris gets the fastest lap, which is around 3 seconds faster than what we have set right now. We are going to use our ERS over here. We have 30%, but actually Norris doesn't have that good of a run on us. So we are going to save the ERS for the next straight over here. And braking was honestly, it's on point. We make slight mistake coming out of turn 2. Going to dump all the ERS over here, but Norris is going to get DRS as well over here. And oh no, is he going to overtake us? This is the chance. We have to stick it down the inside. Go for a kind of like a dive bomb over here. Push him slightly wide because we are fighting for podium position over here. And this could be the only chance we actually, get to stand on the podium this season at least. But we go slightly wide. We are getting so much understeer right now on these almost dead hards, and Norris on those fresh, soft tires just overtakes us. We have orange underbody damage, 56% used up hards, and we have lost it. The final lap, and we have lost the podium position. But nonetheless, we at least get fourth. I was so engrossed in the fact that, we could have actually had a podium over here that I completely forgot that we actually came fourth. Obviously, it's thanks to Verstappen and Leclerc retiring. Carlos, starting from the back, getting caught up in a few incidents, and I think so did Hamilton. But boy, oh boy, what a race this has been. This has been, just complete, it's just overtakes central the whole time. We've had overtakes from the first lap to literally the last lap. Norris overtakes us through, I think that is turn 4 or 5, I'm not really sure. But that's just unfortunate that he actually overtook us there. I did not expect someone to overtake us in that particular sector, like sector 2, and he just goes down the inside. I could have actually defended that way better thinking about it now, but it is what it is. Honestly, congrats to Norris on the second podium of the season. Perez probably goes to the top of the WDC. I'm not sure about that. We'll have to check it after this, of course. But yeah, this is a podium that no one expected. Perez first, Russell second, and Norris third. Who would have thought? Two British flags on the podium and just a Mexican flag in the middle. What an amazing race this has been. We've had 15 points in just this race. We had 16 points in total before this race, and we've got 16, actually 15 points in this race as well, which has been crazy. Sainz, of course, he couldn't really do much in the sprint, and there
And
is, I
pulling
think, some
further ahead in
issue
the
over here
standings,
because
it's
it
Red
shows
Bull.
that Russell is
Another team that will be
7. Like, he
satisfied with
got
this
7
Grand Prix as
points,
Alfa
but
Romeo
it
has a
shows
good
his 12th. I
result that
think it's
moves them
because of all
further
the
up the
grid
championship.
position,
Well,
the
that was
grid
certainly an
penalties
exciting
and stuff.
weekend of Formula
I don't
One.
really
Be
know, so
sure
we'll
to
just
join us for
quickly go
more
into.
exciting Formula
Let's
One
just go
action
quickly and check the race
very
results
soon.
as well over here. We did come fourth. Honestly, a pretty decent laps throughout. Let's just quickly check the standings, and Perez takes the lead by 26 points. He leads from Leclerc. Verstappen also has lost a lot of points right now, and Sainz is the biggest loser of them all because he was in the lead earlier. Red Bull takes the lead by 34 points, which is again, it's somewhat similar to what happened in real life. And if you did enjoy this episode, make sure to leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.